Smokey's Garage told. Take two.
Take two.
Are you still all right?
One-eyed Jack's still here. So
all right. Sounds good.
We're going to make her through, I think. I took a nap this afternoon. I took one this morning, so we should be good.
Sounds like a little baby taking naps.
Pretty much. I ain't got nothing else to do. The wife gets nervous if I go for walks. She's afraid I'm going to fall down.
Yeah.
So I don't do much of that. So I just, catching up on my movies. And
I get it.
take a nap. So
you bet.
But oh well, we'll get our podcast done, and she can drive me home, and I can go to bed. Well, I can go to the couch.
What a great wife you have. What a great wife.
She puts up with me pretty good.
She's sitting there right there. We're both trying to get some brownie. But she has no idea what we said last podcast.
No, she wasn't here for the last one. She was out walking, so.
Should we turn the camera on her quick?
Let's turn it around here once.
No.
We got
that was a no.
That was a distinct no. Not even a look.
But they could see where she sits during the races all the time.
Yeah, they would know.
So, but
in her own little mini throne down there on her recliners. Back to racing.
Yeah, Fulkins Brothers Brawl. That was.
Bull Haulers Brawl.
Bull Haulers Brawl.
Fulkins Brothers race called the Bull Haulers Brawl.
Yes, my bad.
There we go.
Yeah. That's so awesome that they put that on. I appreciate those guys.
It's a great way to end the year.
Yeah, and appreciate them being a part of our podcast. We really appreciate everything they do for our podcast. So I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that.
And don't forget Pennsylvania next spring. I'm still thinking about that.
Possibly. We'll have to see what all happens with that. But as far as our podcast goes, I mean, Huset's is done. Tobin High, last year we kind of worked out a Wednesday night just because it was church night and I had no sporting events on Wednesday. I'm not saying that's locked in stone that we're going to do Wednesday. There's Xavier Metzger is playing volleyball for Northwestern. There might be a time I want to go watch a game over there because they're like 10-0 or 11-0 and beat a bunch of ranked teams, and she's playing awesome from what I hear. So
well, don't be afraid to call me and stop and pick me up.
Yeah, we can do a podcast at Northwestern.
There we go. We can sit there. We can do it on the way down.
But
just wouldn't have the YouTube one.
Yeah, but So just wanted to let you know that. Again, feel free to reach out. We are fine with it, as long as you race. Reach out.
Even if you just have something to do with racing.
Yeah,
I mean, we've had trophy queens, dirt prep guys.
Yep. Anything, just message me on Facebook and let me know what you do with racing, and we'd be happy to get you on. I'll be honest, it's not easy to always get drivers on.
Oh, no.
We had that Justin Fiedler on, and he's like just shocked that we can continue to have race car drivers on because he goes, I tried that. That's awful. He goes, I don't have no idea how you guys keep getting guys on. But
I don't either because I don't do it. So I give all the credit to you, bud.
Yeah, but I think with technology and texting and everything nowadays, I mean, guys give us their cell phones for the most part, and we can reach out. So
it's easier to get a hold of them.
We might cut back to, there's going to be weeks that we just have one.
Yep.
There's going to be times that we have two, maybe three. Who knows? But
and there could be a week we don't get anybody. So
yep, it is what it is. I can tell you this though, we're going to have next week a couple little boys on our show. I'm not going to say more than that, but I think they're going to be pretty pumped to be on the show next week. So.
Let's just throw it out there too. We might be having some really cool looking sweatshirts.
Yeah.
Hoodies, whatever you want to call them.
Absolutely. I'm still working out the logistics of all that. They're not going to be cheap, but
they're really cool.
I posted it on Facebook what they're going to look like, and if they turn out anything like that, they're going to be really cool.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that also. But I'll post when we're officially doing it with a price of what they're going to cost. So they're not out there yet. That was just kind of what they're going to look like. Jared is swamped, and we'll work it out. I mean, we have some time.
Yeah.
So, but
pretty soon it won't be hoodie season no more. It'll be parka season. So.
Yep. Hey, but getting back to racing.
We should get back to the podcast. Yes.
Colby Klaassen, Little Rock boy.
Yep. Local boy.
A lot of history in that family with racing.
A lot between his dad and his uncles and his cousins. And
Colby had a great year. So we sponsor Colby.
Yep.
But he's on because he won a couple points championships this year. So let's chit-chat with him and see what he has to say.
I found it.
Hoagie's Garage. We're back with points champion Colby Klaassen. How you doing, Colby?
I'm doing pretty good. Just trying to catch up on things since the season was such a long one.
So are you doing this from inside of a tractor?
I was actually, I got some posts and stuff. I've been wanting to do a few projects on my acreage for quite a while, and I was just starting to unload some stuff, and yeah, I kind of forgot about it, but that's all right.
Oh, now we know how we rate, bud.
Yeah.
Now we know.
We're important. Hey, at least he answered his phone, though.
True. Didn't just shut it off on us.
yeah, I don't have to be in a hurry for anything anymore because I don't have to go home and work on a car, so.
Yeah, get a little while off before you guys start getting it ready for next year.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So how much do you guys farm? Is it with your dad? What do you all do?
Yeah, so my dad, he's got some cattle, about 130 head of stock cows, and then I got a hog barn, of course, and then we farm together with 2 of my uncles and 3 of my cousins, and all together it's probably around 4,500 acres, 5,000 acres.
Yeah.
That'll keep you busy once that starts.
Yeah, maybe next week. I don't know. I thought maybe this weekend, but yeah, I don't know. It's not so hot every day, so it's slowed down a little bit.
Yeah. And you do a lot of baling too, don't you? Or not?
Not this summer so much. Ever since I got my DOT job, I don't get to do a lot of the haying anymore, and that's kind of the downfall of it. And then, of course, the racing deal too. But yeah, no, I used to do quite a bit of it, and I do miss that. That was almost more fun than harvest. So.
So you got 2 full-time jobs. You got your DOT job, and then you got farming.
Yeah, I stay pretty busy. Yeah, like Monday and Tuesday, I had 2 or 3 loads at 3 a.m. and I got done loading bags and showered and went to work. So,
well, it's maybe a good thing you got a great wife.
Yeah. You know, on Facebook the other day, she shared a touring series deal, and she said, "What a stud!" I'm like, "Well, you weren't thinking that when I was in the shop for 6 hours a week or whatever, plus hours."
Yeah,
no, it makes it all worth it, I guess, at the end of the year. But yeah, no, she's awesome with the racing deal. Supports me 100%. So.
Yeah, she wants you to jump in a sprint car, I hear.
Yeah, you have to ask her that.
I know that's not the answer, so.
Yeah, no, I don't know. The 305 thing, I'd maybe try sometime, but I don't think so. I'm not 100% a sprint car driver guy, so I don't mind watching them now, but I don't think I could drive one.
Yeah. You bet.
Count me and Bud out too.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll drive to the races and from the races, but that's probably going to cover it for us.
Yeah, we love watching. So,
So, how many years have you actually been racing now, Colby?
I think this is my 11th. Last year my 10th. Yeah, this will be my 11th this year.
Jesus, that means he's over 20 years old too.
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 26. So it would have been this has been my 10th year. Yeah, I started when I was 16. I'm 26 now. So.
Yeah, we're taking guesses on Caleb Johnson's age at the end of our last podcast, and we did a really crappy job.
Well, you did better than I did.
Yeah, but Tobe said 20, I said 22, and we found out he's 26, same age as you.
Oh, no kidding! I never would have guessed that.
Yeah.
Well,
unless my race pass is wrong, but that's what my race pass says. So, that kind of comes, with a little help over there by Little Rock area, doesn't it? Doesn't Austin Lloyd kind of help with that?
What's that?
My race pass. Doesn't he help with that?
Yeah, no. Yeah, he. I don't really know what he does for my race pass, but I know he works for him. I don't know if he helps get the track set up or whatnot with it, but yeah, that's his day job, I guess. So.
You bet. So what's the most wins you've ever had in a season?
It would have been last year. We got 6 street stock wins and kind of a stock car win. I got second and the leader got DQ'd at the end of the night, so
still counts as a W.
You bet.
Yeah, so I guess 7 last year.
All right. And then this year, you kind of got off to a hot start this year, especially at Hartford, but then you had some motor issues, and it took a little bit to figure out what was going on with the motor. So just maybe talk about Hartford, and if you want to talk about Huset's at the same time, go for it.
Yeah, so it started off really strong, won the opener at I-90, and then the next week I had my late model out the same night, and I got stuck in a B main with the street stock of all things, not the late model, which is where it should have been. But anyway, it worked out, and I had to run a B main and ended up starting 19th and ended up winning that on the last 20 feet. But and then then your 2-week average is set up, and average was obviously good. So I starting in the back again every week, which I took to Terry. I'm like, well, we've done it once before, about every race, so we can do it again, I guess. But then once we finally decided we were going to points race, well, I don't know why I changed my mentality to go like heck or to be conservative and don't wreck and do good, but finish the race at least,
Yeah.
And that's kind of what won us the points at the end of the year, I guess, is just making sure the car stayed in one piece. But then I ended up winning 4th of July race too. Actually ended up doing a redraw that night, and I think I redrew like 6th or something, I don't know. So that helped.
Well, you keep your points average like you had it. It's tough to win them races from the back because there's an awful lot of good cars out there with you.
Yeah, and that's what I like about Hartford. You can start in the back and work your way up to the front pretty easy. It's nice and wide, and
Yep.
and that's the hard part about Houston. Is you get a good point average, and you just start in the back, and it's so hard to pass cars there some nights, and Hartford's kind of got a little bit of a bad rap, but I'll tell you what, this year I think the track was awesome about, I don't know, 90% of the time. I mean, we've I would like to know how many cars I passed this year, because I bet you it's a ton.
Yeah. I totally agree with that, because even towards the end of the year, there's a lot of heats that you didn't finish the heats, and so you started almost dead last.
Just rub the salt in the wound, bud.
Yeah, I will.
Actually, there was a little bit of method there. I figured if there was 14 cars, or last night I probably should have finished the heat race, but anyway, if there was 14 cars, I figured, well, what's the point in destroying their motor in a heat race, and it's slimy and hard to pass, so I just do a lap and I pull in.
There was who did you in it?
Yeah, there was a little bit of thought to it, but when you're points racing, it does help start a little further towards the front, but I figured it really didn't matter. We usually pick 2 off right away, so then you're right at the starting spot. I mean, when you're the best point average, you're going to start 12th. 10th or 12th, somewhere in there.
Sure.
No matter what, that's the best you're going to start.
Yeah.
You bet.
But,
So, have you ever won a points championship before?
No, this is my first one.
That's awesome, and it's the first year. You got a really good sidekick sponsor on board with you.
Yeah. No, it's been a lot of fun having you guys on the car, and whatever we do next year, I don't know if we'll run late model or if we'll run the street stock deal again, but I'll miss seeing everybody at the racetrack too, and I mean, you get to know these, your group of people you hang out with every week so good, and it almost more fun just going and hanging out than racing some nights.
Especially if you have a crappy night, then the hangout's always better.
Yeah, that makes it a lot better. I know we definitely had some bad nights, but we pushed through them and made a pretty good year out of it, I guess.
So, but you're talking about the friends, and it gets to be a family. But how many track championships did the old man have? Do you know?
Probably. If I would guess, I'm not even 100% sure. 3 or 4, maybe in his hobby stock. Okay. He never won a street stock feature, so I
you got
that in his face.
You got that over top of him already. That's one good thing. Well, if you've only got 3 or 4, you're young yet. You can top that yet on him. Then you got that over top of him yet too.
Yeah, you gotta pass that one by my wife too.
If you're gonna race that long?
Well, no, the points racing thing.
Oh,
I'll be in it for a while, but the points racing deal, I don't know. I think we, now that my kids get a little older, we
Oh,
should
yeah,
probably go
yeah.
on a vacation with them. And when you're points racing, all that stuff is out the window unless
Yeah.
you get a long rain out or something.
then your kids get involved in stuff, and then you got other things you got to do too.
They're not that old yet.
But that ain't that far away anymore. I mean, they start that stuff at 5, 6 years old. There's already things for them kids to be in.
Oh yeah, and that kind of brings up another point. When I was young and my dad was racing, and they always were like, "We're gonna quit," and when they did, I was kind of heartbroken that they quit, but I totally understand why they kind of did it. They never got to see us.
Yep.
I mean, it sucks. I always wanted to see my dad race every weekend, and then when they quit, it's like, this sucks.
Yeah.
But now I totally get where they're coming from. Now it's
Oh yeah.
it's a grind all summer long. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but it's it's a grind.
Especially if you're gonna do more than one track. If you're gonna run like a points thing, then you almost got to go like one track or something.
Yeah, and I was talking to somebody the other day too. I said there's a lot of Sunday afternoons where we did about 2 days worth of work in an afternoon before the races.
Quick a minute after Saturday night.
Yeah, it doesn't help that 17 crew keeps us at the races till 2 in the morning every night.
Well, we won't
2, that might be early.
Yeah, we usually do leave early, and I get home before they do anyway. And I live an hour and a half away, or hour 10 minutes away, or something like that.
That's a rough crowd to hang with, I tell you.
Yeah, we're out of there by midnight most of the time.
Wait till you get old. and
We're
try to hang
old.
out
We
with outfits
can't.
like that.
Midnight stuff ain't even getting started yet.
Oh,
You
They
didn't
brought
leave-
firewood and everything this last race, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
Had you guys even left
it
by
was nice
midnight?
'cause
Oh, it was pretty late. I was a little worried about Ann driving home. I asked her if she wanted me to take her home or not, but
I told her to call me if she needed to stay awake. Well, you'll be sleeping. I said, I'll be up in an hour or so. Yeah, I can't sleep on my damn side anyhow all night.
So that's not the only points championship. You had mentioned that Brooke posted one, but you won the late model street stock series tour or whatever that is. Explain that to us. What is that, and congrats on that also.
Yeah, so that's the Late Model Street Stock Touring Series. It goes between our 2 weekly racetracks and then the 3 or 4 other racetracks that we go throughout the summer with like Rocky and Slayton and Interstate Speedway, and I think that's all we got to this year. But that's just a cumulative of all the races we've done as a class, kind of like our national points, if you want to call it that.
Sure.
But I think we did 32-ish races, somewhere in there. We just made sure we were there every night, and all our traveling series races went pretty good. Our Interstate Speedway deal kind of suffered, but we were top 5, top 6, somewhere in there on all the races that we went on the road with. And I had a little bit of an advantage when we hit the Rocky. I knew the racetrack, but got bummer not to win there this year, but that's the way it is. But no, it's a fun series to do. You run with the same guys all the time, and we've actually been getting pretty good car counts, and it's fun to go to new places and do it, and then to come out at the end of the year with the championship is pretty cool.
So we'll just give you credit for 2 championships then on the year.
Absolutely.
One the traveling ones. You see, you're halfway to the old man already.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the touring deal is actually a lot harder than a weekly deal because there's so many more races,
Yep.
And they do give us one, whatever, mulligan or however you want to call it. Somebody run my number during the corn show at I-90, so Ryan DeBoer, I should give him credit. He did a heck of a job. He took my point average, and I told him don't finish the heat race. Make sure you at least start the feature. And he started 12th and ended up 5th that night. So I was beyond happy with that. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another cool thing we can do with our series too. So like I say, if you did want to go on vacation, you could plan something and
Sure.
have someone run your number. But yeah, you like to say you did it all at the end of the year. But,
Can't skip the corn show. That's a big deal on the east end of the county.
I don't really want Colby's wife Brooke to get mad at me, but
You're going to say it anyhow, aren't you?
she kind of had a fun corn show, didn't she?
yeah, she partied it up good.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, no, that corn show deal, though, that's fun too. We used to get the race car out for the parade and whatnot for that. So it's not like I'm not doing anything with it that weekend. But.
Yeah.
You bet.
So, thoughts going forward? I mean, we've touched on it a little bit. You know, you had 2 cars this year, and you got to get everything cleared with Brooke. I understand that. You got to keep the wife happy. But just guessing, do you got plans for next year, or haven't even thought about it yet?
Oh, that's all I've done is thought about it, but I haven't really come up with anything set in stone yet. We had kind of talked about maybe parking the street stock and just doing the late model and just running a little bit of a shorter schedule, but I don't know what we're gonna do yet. I can't give any answers, and I don't know, and there's no secrets. I just don't know yet. Well, we'll be racing next year, whether it's in the street stock or late model. I don't think we'll have both out next year. It's just too much to have, especially with the late model. There's so much going on in those things that my brain can't handle it.
Winter's coming. You'll have plenty of time while you're plowing snow to think about it.
Yeah. I don't even want to think about plowing snow. I can tell you that.
Not me either, but
So, where does the late model all race? I mean, we don't see them. I mean, we see them off and on around here, but like, how far away would you have to go and stuff?
I think the furthest one they did was probably Aberdeen and Miller, South Dakota. And then they kind of hit all the tracks through there. They raced at Hartford, Rocky, Huset's, Fairmont, Minnesota. I've drawn a blank on a few of the others. I think they did one race at Worthington at the end of the year, but that was a non-points race. Just kind of all over, and Dakota State Fair Speedway out there. It's a cool little series they got tonight. That's kind of what I like about it. They don't do about 20 shows a year, and
sure.
And they get around to other racetracks, and you can have a lot of fun that way. It's like not points racing, but points racing with the series, you know. So that's what I always liked about the stock car deal I did is we just kind of travel all over Iowa, and whenever we wanted to race, we raced.
Sure.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. You bet.
But no, it's a good thing going for the local late model crowd. It's not that big yet, but I feel like it's growing, and eventually it'll get pretty big. I don't know if we'll ever see a weekly racetrack running late models around here, but maybe someday.
Yeah. What can you tell us about pitting for Lee that one time, and then he kind of paid you back and he pitted for you, and I can tell you this, you pulled in when he pitted for you, and he was on our show here a week or two ago, and he said he had no clue what he was looking for.
Yeah, so Hoagie's Garage Night during the Knoxville Nationals, you guys were gone, so we had to make sure we represented good. So
thanks for doing that, by the way.
Appreciate it.
Lee was going to Rock Rapids, and I kind of told Brooke we should go watch him, and then let's come find out it was just him and Jamie going. So I said, well, we're gonna go and pit. So I grabbed Joe, my crew guy and best buddy, and we went there and pitted for him. And I had no idea what I was doing, but I think we did okay.
Yeah, he won. So you guys, I think you're the reason he won.
Yeah. I told him don't mess my setup up, and then he'll be set the rest of the year. And I think he went on to win about 6 or 8 in a row. So yeah, I'll take the credit for all that.
We'll give it to you. We'll give it to you.
No, he's a heck of a driver and got on a little hot streak, I guess. So.
You bet. I don't know if I have that much more. Do you have anything else?
We should let him mention his sponsors. We already talked about his favorite one, but.
Yeah. No, this year's been awesome. Got a good group of sponsors, and our main one this year would be the Hog House Handyman out of Ashton. Frontier Bank, Little Rock at Rock Rapids at George. And there's a lot of seed sales out of Sibley. And then there's Baker Irrigation out of Rock Valley. And then kind of our smaller ones, but yet help out a lot, would be DIY 4X in Little Rock. Moonlight Race Parts, that's where I try to get all my parts from. I spend a lot of money there, but yet he definitely is a good dude for question. Always there to answer the phone, so he's a good one. T&J Trucking, that's out of Little Rock here. You guys, Ogie's Garage, of course.
Yeah, that's one of your smallest ones.
Yeah. No, you guys have been. There's more to sponsors than money sometimes, and you guys definitely been more than that. So, I'm just trying to think of whom I'm missing. Rapid Graphics, I did my graphics, and then Who Needs Race Engines? Terry, he's there every week, my motor guy. Actually, more than there every week. It seems like anytime I'm working on a car, he's working on a car. So, yeah, he's awesome.
It's always nice to have one of them.
We might have blown a motor this year, but it wasn't anything he did that caused it. Just a parts failure deal. But that's our first motor, and well, I think we blew a stock car motor up. The cam broke. But other than that, that's the only two motors we've ever had any issues with.
Yeah,
I'd call that pretty good because you have a tendency to abuse them when you're out there.
Yeah, the street stock deal, we kind of had to rethink everything when we started running the street stocks. We were cranking them probably, we hit 8,000 every now and then. I mean, that's pretty good bottom end for that. So.
You bet. So, last question for you. And you can't pick Rapid Speedway because that's your own backyard. What would be your favorite track?
Oh boy, we'll talk about Huset's a little bit here. At the beginning of the year, I would have definitely chose Huset's all day long, but it just wasn't very. Me and Huset's had a love-hate relationship this year, so I don't know. And I'm going to be biased because we won the points there, but I'm going to have to go with Hartford, I-90 Speedway, but Huset's can be a ton of fun, and I would normally pick Huset's, but after this year, it was just a rough go of it most of the nights.
Yeah.
You're just in the wrong spot. I mean, you were pushing hard because you needed to, but it just seemed like every week you were in the wrong spot.
Yeah, wrong spot. I mean, part of it's my fault, of course. I can't take that all out of it, but it was a long year there. I'm happy we ended it on a decent note with a third, and I was pretty exhausted going out of Houston every night. And it sucks, everybody wants to win at Houston, and it is definitely the coolest place to win at.
Yep.
Yeah, it is what it is some nights, and that's you got to take the good with the bad, and I think my little team that we got going here definitely did their best, with the results we had at Houston. So.
Hey, just go into the winter remembering the 2 championships that you had from last summer, and it'll all be good.
Oh yeah. No, we still ended up 5th or whatever at Houston, so I'm happy with that. I guess at the end of the year with the year we had, we only DNF'd once, I believe, but we had a lot of bad runs, but. It is what it is sometimes.
That's racing.
There's times I'd see Colby pull in and he'd be walking around, kicking the car a time or two, I think, too. But just frustrated. So that's racing, though, right?
You work on it all week, and trying to win and really win at Houston's, and it just never happened. And oh man, it's heartbreaking, hard to take that some nights, but it is what it is.
You bet.
Yep. Not much you can do.
You
Keep
bet.
your chin up and come back again next week. So.
Yep. Put it back together and go again.
Yep.
You bet. Well, if you're not racing, you and Brooke come on over and watch some races in here.
Oh yeah, that's I definitely plan to get over there a couple times. So.
All right. Sounds great. Thanks so much, Colby, and we'll see what happens next year, I guess.
Yep. You guys will probably be one of the first ones to know. So.
That would be great.
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right. See ya.
Yep. Bye.
Hey, Tope. We remembered to hit all the buttons.
I think we got them covered tonight.
We just hit the last one of the night. Now, as long as we hit it to shut it off,
it just takes me a minute to focus with the one eye. Cause
I see your finger kind of go all over to get to it.
It works its way over there, but I get there eventually. Just got to go slow so I don't knock the whole iPad off the table.
I do need to thank, and I probably should have done this in one of the intros, but Trolley and Matt.
Oh, yep, for filling in for me.
Did a super job last week. I really appreciate you being with me every night because this is the plan always going forward. But it was interesting having somebody different.
Yep.
I mean, everybody has a little bit different approach, and
I had to listen to 2 podcasts, so now I've officially listened to 2.
and Trolley is an announcer, and
Yep.
it comes really natural for him.
Yep.
Me and you don't have a freaking clue what we're saying,
No,
but
we just talk.
and
Sometimes
then
we
Matt
ramble.
has his own podcast.
Yep.
And evidently I talked to his wife a little bit this week, and he said that she said that he had a lot of fun, but we do things a lot different than how they do theirs.
Well, theirs looks a little fancier than ours.
Well, yeah.
But-
Well, supposedly they're the best in the county, Tobe. So
Well, that's
it
what
should
they
be
that's what
better,
they said
right?
anyhow.
Yeah,
We're
so,
still second, maybe,
I hope so.
as long as there's only 2 podcasts in the county.
But it was great having those guys on, and we really appreciate them doing that. They kind of stepped in, kind of last minute for you.
Yeah.
And it's good to see that you're back. And Colby did a great job with this podcast. I think we got him out of the tractor, though.
Yeah, that sounded like he was doing something yet. It's things he hadn't got done all summer that he was supposed to be getting done.
But great year for Colby. It was great to have him on, to be a small part of that. It was so fun, And I always hate, mentioning Lee along with him because Colby did his own great thing.
Yep.
But those two have gotten to be such
Really
good friends.
good friends,
And I mean, they hang out all the time. We go down after the race, and they're both right there. And it's just been a blast for Hoagie's Garage.
It's been a riot.
We couldn't have asked for anything more to be a part of kind of 3 championships, and it's just
4.
really cool. Yeah, 4. Colby
4.
had 2 and Lee had 2. So yeah, I mean that's kind of unreal to be honest. So. And again, we're such a small part of that. But we go to all the races where, the other sponsors, I don't know if they do or not.
I have no idea.
For the most part,
I wouldn't know the other sponsors if they walked up hardly.
Yeah,
Well, I would know the one of Colby's because he's my neighbor.
Yeah. So.
The DIY 4x4. That's my neighbor, so I know him.
Yep. But. So till next week, Tobe.
Let's see what you get lined up for me.
All right.